Hey guys, this is Warner Smith and I'm back with the review. Not with the wing you expected, but I think with a wing that you would like. This is the Master Grade Gundam Fenice Rinascita from the original Gundam Build Fighters. Now, after the Heavy Arms review, everyone, including myself, was expecting to go straight into Wing Zero for Ka, but I had to do a rain check on my paints and I realized there were some paints that I was going to be missing for that project. So right after that review, I ordered some, but the paints haven't reached here yet, so I need something to facilitate that space before I'm ready to go build and paint that bad boy up. And I figured, why not another wing? Which I find very poignant because, you know, we got the Gundam Fenice Rinascita, which surprisingly I find kind of impressive that they went with the suit that was only on screen for about 2 to 3 episodes versus the original Wing Gundam Fenice that I kind of feel like in some spaces was more popular than its upgraded version. But I guess the both wings on one side wasn't conducive to a cohesive build. I figured that would have so many back problems. I can't imagine the high grade having back problems with the master grade, especially since they're not really going to make a brand new inner frame. Probably wasn't going to work out. As we go into that, yes, this is based on the 2010 Wing Gundam Master Grade. If you remember the TV version, they use that inner frame as a basis. They add some new parts to it so it can be compatible for the Gundam Fenice Rinascita. And, you know, it kind of changes up the color flare, adds some new upgrades, and in my opinion, one of the best and most badass looking bird modes that I've seen out of a Wing Gundam. Now, before we get really deep into this, I want to give a big thank you to Canadian Gundam for coming through with this kit. I actually got this kit for my birthday back in June, and I got it on a discount for about $33, which is pretty impressive. They have a vast amount of model kits that you can go for, especially they really go hard for the more niche and obscure mobile suits. So if you're looking for something, if you're looking for a kit that you can't find in your traditional hobby shop, go check them out and see what they have it. They even have a flat $10 shipping fee all throughout North America. So go check them out and tell them that Reggie said hi. So now that we got that out of the way, why don't we open up the box and see what we have here. All built up, and we have the Gundam Fenice Rinascita. And the Italian colors, look, the white is gone for a more beige. You're gonna get a much brighter red than you would have gotten in your regular Wing Gundam. And the green is such a nice mid-tone green. Not as dark as Buster Gundam, but not bright as the Neko Quanta. Before anyone comments, yes, I know, the big yellow piece on the left wing is upside down. And unfortunately for this review, I did not fix that, so you're gonna have to deal with that. I'm sorry. But overall, this kit has a lot of nice things going for it. Unfortunately, what I liked about the Wing Gundam model kit was the inner frame out of the box was gunmetal. This is a more basic grade that you're going to get that comes with every other Gundam kit. It's kind of meh, but it works. But the one thing I find baffling is that it has a combination of ABS plastic and polystyrene for the inner frame. A lot of the new pieces on the shoulders, the chest, and the legs are made with the newer style polystyrene because this was the mid-2010s, which Bandai was moving away from most Gundam kits being made of ABS inner frame, which I'm very concerned for the future in terms of stability and balance. But I think what we'll see, it won't really be a hindrance, but it's something to look out to. Otherwise, it has like a really bright, strong color tone. I like the design choices they went for this. They really took the Wing Gundam and was really trying to improve upon it and make it, you know, really emphasize the bird. It's called Fenice, which is Phoenix, and then Rinascita is reborn. And they really, I felt like they took it literally, and I have no complaints about that whatsoever. So while it looks good, let's check out the articulation. As we always do, start with the head. Head is on a double jointed neck, 360, and you can get a really wide range of high and low. I love the neck joint that came with the Wing Gundam kit. Shoulders, because they're bigger than the original Wing Gundam, they are a bit bulky, so you're not going to get as much range, but you can get the 360. And you're going to be able to get the far in and out that was included with the original Wing Gundam. And one cool thing about the Fenice, it has kind of boosters on the inside, which is very akin to Wing Zero. And you're going to have those shoulder flaps that are going to come in handy later. Your arm's going to be able to reach out about 90 degrees. Your traditional Gundam swivel, double jointed elbows. The hands are the swappable hands connected to a ball joint. Can go 360 degrees with opposable thumb. Chest. There is chest articulation, but due to the wings, at least standing on its own, you're not going to be able to get a lot of it access, and it's kind of stable. Front and side skirts can go out pretty far, as well as the black, and you're going to be able to get a nice range of the legs to be able to go perpendicular with each other, parallel. The knees, you're going to get a nice double jointed knee, which is actually kind of loose in my opinion, and you're going to get ankles that go down, but not really up. As we see with the wings still have the same amount of dynamic posability that you saw with the TV version of the Wing Gundam for 2010. Swivels up, down, side to side, round and round. I think they actually included some more articulation than what was in the original set. Overall, there are some improvements with the articulation, but due to the designs, there are also some drawbacks as well. I would say overall you would get wider range on the lower half, but the upper half is just kind of stuck due to the design that the Fenice Rinascita has. Before we go even anywhere, we gotta talk about the most important accessory on this kit. It comes straight up with an action base, which is sorely needed for this kit. Because of the combination of the ABS and polystyrene, they use a lot of polystyrene for the legs, which makes the legs even weaker than the original source material, which was the Wing Gundam. So a lot of the more epic poses, you are going to need that action base, and it definitely comes in handy. Now, first big accessory, you're gonna get the Buster Shield. The Buster Shield has the same functionality, but they took it way up with the design. It looks like it can crush you. It looks like a bird's head. It's much bulkier. It does look cooler, and just like with the shoulder, or just like in the chest, it comes with a clear green piece. You don't have to put a sticker on that. You are going to be able to get the beam saber out of it, but due to the more bulky design, I will say it's much more difficult to reach into it. Of course, it wouldn't be a Wing Gundam without the Buster Rifle. It's mostly the same design, but they do add a few new pieces, mainly to the holster and kind of the middle part. You no longer have that back yellow piece on the bottom of it, but you are going to get these two additional handguns, which can be used as attachment points. So, for example, if you wanted your Fenice to have a bayonet style kind of weapon, you can, because thankfully this comes with a beam, not one, but two beam saber effects. And one effect that it comes for, it was for the smaller hand, while the other submachine gun looks like he stole off a sandrock. But you do get a lot of options when it comes to weaponry in the Fenice Rinascita that I love, and it gives you a lot of posability options to go with this kit. You are going to have a lot of fun posing and coming up with ideas of how you want your Gundam Fenice to look like. The biggest accessory, and what I think is the more fun, is these beam cape, or the beam cape, where they attach to the shoulders those flaps that you saw earlier, and they really give it that Italian flair to it. It's Fellini at his most obnoxious but adorableness at the same time. And it works pretty well. It's three pieces kind of held together by one piece, so it has a decent amount of articulation in tandem with the articulation on the shoulder. And for those who like using UV lights, this is UV light compatible. This thing brights up from a Christmas tree for what I've seen in other reviews. This kit looks strong, and those Italian flare beam capes really help it out to stand out. I think this is going to stand out much more than your average wing kit. And now here we are with the bird mode, and I gotta say, this is the bird mode that legit looks like a bird. It comes with an adapter piece for the display base, which can work pretty well. You are going to get a lot of options with this, and I gotta say, aesthetically, it looks like it tries to bridge the gap between the Wing Gundam bird mode and the Wing Gundam Rika bird mode. try to bridge them together into one cohesive and one badass design. I think they really knocked it out of the park here, and it just looks amazing, and it finally lives up to what it's named after, bird mode. Now, here it is next to my dusty Wing Gundam that I built 6 years ago. And again, you gotta remember that both of these kits have the same source material in terms of the inner frame. A lot of it is recycled into Fenice along with the newer parts. I will say that the Wing Gundam from 2010 is much more stable. It has a better mechanism for its Buster Rifle. It can use the talons to connect the Buster Rifle so it would never fall apart. But Fenice does have the better, bigger, bulkier, kind of stylized design. The clear pieces on this kit are clear. You don't have to use any stickers if you don't want to. And the gem in the middle pops just a lot more than the Wing Gundam. Honestly, in my personal opinion, you can't go wrong with either design. If you want to go with the Wing Gundam for nostalgia, or if you really believe the Fenice Rinascita is a much grander improvement, you can't go wrong either way, and I can't fault you for getting both at the same time. Alright, now here we go with the style ranking. What would I give the Gundam Fenice Rinascita Master Grade? Honestly,
apocalyptic.
It takes a lot of what Wing Gundam did from 2010, brings it to 2015, and does a lot better with the design, the clear pieces, and it has, arguably, in my opinion, a better design of a bird mode. It has a lot more options with accessories than the original Wing Gundam. It's accurate to the TV design, and I do think it does improve on a lot of what the Wing Gundam did. Its only major drawback for me is the fact that it combined ABS plastic with polystyrene, which makes the knees a lot looser. It makes a lot of it looser, and I wonder how this is going to hold up 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 7 years from now. But a lot of that is taken away by the fact that this came with an action base from the jump, which a lot of those problems you can avoid. But if you get curious or you're worried, you can also just tighten it up or paint it. But in a lot of ways, I do think there's some things that Fenice Rinascita does better than Wing Gundam. Might be a little controversial, especially since I have a lot of nostalgia for Gundam Wing, but I'm just calling it as I see it. This is somewhat of an improvement. I just worry about the inner frame structural for the future. Now, before we go, as you guys know, I tried to give away a copy of SD Gundam G Generation Cross Rays, and the winner was Charizard Asnoble 420. Unfortunately, they could not accept the prize, so here we go again. So I did the selection again, and the winner is Zone Based. Congratulations, buddy. You now own a copy of SD Gundam G Generation Cross Rays for PS4. It is the Japanese version, so if and when you see this, or if I message you, please come over to go message me on Facebook or Instagram to come claim your prize, so we can get that sorted out, so I can get this to you as soon as possible, so you can have a pretty cool late Christmas present. But before we go, just sorry, this wasn't the Wing Zero Verkov review. I'm still waiting on the paints. They should be here today or tomorrow before the thing goes live, and that will be my next big build, but expect to take some time with that because this will be fully painted head to toe, and I'm gonna try some new things with that too. So be on the lookout for both the work in progress video and the full review that's gonna come out of this kit. And then after we're done with that, we're gonna go straight to RX-78 Unleashed. So with that in mind, I am 101 Smith, and I will see you later. Peace.